All right, welcome to the Krug Show, call-in show Wednesday night. Kev in the house. Big day today down in Santa Clara. A chance to talk to Kyle Shanahan, go in the Niner locker room. Hello to everybody. We're brought to you by Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Check them out in Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week. From 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out. Pig and a Pickle, the best barbecue in all of Northern California. Also brought to you by New York style Italian sausage. The only kind of Italian sausage I eat is New York style Italian sausage. We're also brought to you by Marin Auto Glass. Check them out, bottom of the screen, marinautoglass.com, 415-883-3030. And, of course, we are also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy and Mojo Fantasy. Check that link in the description. Use the promo code KRUG, K-R-U-E-G, and they will match you up to your first $100. Welcome to the Wednesday night call-in show. I'm here. Kev's there. I'm here in Northern California. Kev's in Central California.
But not the Central California that people talk about. That's flat and boring. We're talking coastal.
Kev joins us from San Luis Obispo. Slow. And we're going to do the call-in show, but as we always start, we start with some topics before we do the call-in show. Ernesto Ron says, "Nice flag, Kev. Nice flag."
Got it on Amazon. I think it was $20. Faithful to the Bay. I like the Faithful to the Bay little slogan. I have a sweatshirt that says "Faithful" on it.
Do you?
Yeah, I think you got it for me.
There you go. Well, there you go. Merry Christmas. Chris Knight says Kev's bed is a mess. Get mad at him, Larry. Well, what can I say? It's not the kid that I raised. Damn it. All right, let's get it rolling. Wait a second. We got this one from Spencer Alsey. Just remember, Krug, you're amazing with your 49ers work, but go Kings. Go Kings. We have a Sacramento Kings light the beam among us right now. So there you go. All right. So let's fire away.
Drop the link in the chat.
You did drop the link in the chat.
I'll drop it right now.
Are you going to drop it in the chat right now? We go exactly 1 hour, so it's roughly 8:15 right now. We'll cut this at 9:15, and we hit 3 to 5 topics off the start, and then we go to your phone calls, and hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we come to you on the 3rd of January. Chris Asorno says, "Larry, forget about the Pro Bowl. We're going to the Super Bowl. And we're going to win it, baby." Oh, I'd love to hear that. And Marshall Barragan says, "Did Draymond Green play his last game as a Warrior?" Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. Hope not. Hope that's not the case. So. All right, Kev, fire away. I just show up for this. Raphael 56249 and 5629er says, "What's up, Larry and everyone?" And then he says, "Like and subscribe, everybody." So, yeah, like and subscribe. Hit like, and that helps the algorithm. More people find the stream. If you hit subscribe, every time we go live, you'll get a little note. If you click the notification bell, you'll get a little notification that we are going live, and so you don't have to miss a single one of the streams. And if you're tuning in for the first time in a while, as you can see, I've got a brand new studio set up. We have renovated the studio. It really looks outstanding. I'll minimize Kev here for just a second. Oh, wait a second. I minimized myself. There we go. And right there over my right shoulder, right here, is the Krug Show podcast Christmas gift from Kev, the neon sign. Really liking the neon sign. Hope you guys like it. We got the wood backdrop now, which I really enjoy quite a bit. And we can switch it up. We can go colors. You want to talk Warriors? Oh, look, we can talk Warriors. Oh, we can talk about the A's leaving Northern California. Oh, let's talk little Niners. So it's versatile. We're versatile. We're mobile. We're hostile. All right, Kev. Topic number 1. Big Mo Easy's already hanging in the green room. Big Mo's in the house, but we'll get some Big Mo in just a minute. First, we start with the topics. Kev,
yeah,
fire away.
So the link is in the chat, FYI. It's pinned at the top of the chat. So click the link if you want to call in. But yeah, let's get this started. Today was the day that the Pro Bowl was announced. I know someone talked about how they don't want to hear about the Pro Bowl because the Niners are going to the Super Bowl, but that's today's news. And today, 9 49ers were voted to the Pro Bowl. The list is Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Kyle Juszczyk, Fred Warner, Charvarius Ward, Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, and Javon Hargrave. So obviously a star-studded list, and the Niners are a star-studded team, but there are a few names that aren't on that list that I think should be. I think that the two that you can make an argument for are Brandon Ayuk and Dre Greenlaw. But specifically Brandon Ayuk, who's been having a great year. Brandon Ayuk, who leads the NFL with 18.3 yards per catch on average, has the second highest PFF grade, has the second highest passer rating when targeted, has the most first downs in the league, or has 59 first downs on 72 receptions, and is fourth in the NFL among receivers in EPA per play. What did you think of the Pro Bowlers who made it, who didn't make it, and who do you think got snubbed?
Well, okay, so the Niners got 9, right? And I think I was looking at the list and the possibilities. I was thinking they're going to get 10 for sure. They might get 12 or 13. So in addition to those 9, Brandon Ayuk, Eric Armstead, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Oren Burks, Dre Greenlaw, Diamador Lenore, Colton McKivitz, Tabor Pepper, Debo Samuel, Mitch Wishnowsky, and Chase Young were selected as alternates. The team's 9 Pro Bowlers, that's the most in the NFL, and the most a team has had since 9 players were selected to the 2013 Pro Bowl. I mean, okay, a couple things jump out. I mean, one, obviously, Ayuk and Greenlaw got snubbed. I'll say this about Ayuk. There's a lot of big-time receivers. I don't understand why Dre Greenlaw year after year after year keeps getting snubbed. Guess how many Pro Bowls Dre Greenlaw has made in his career?
It's 0, right?
None.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I almost, if I had one more question today of Shanahan, I was going to ask him, but I didn't want to speak negativity into the ether. I was going to say, hey, Dre Greenlaw is going to miss the Pro Bowl. Make your argument for why he's a Pro Bowler. And he would have, I'm sure, made a very compelling argument of why Dre's a Pro Bowler. Instead, I didn't ask that question. I kind of ran out of, I asked a couple other questions today, so I didn't get that one in. I don't understand why. What does Fred Warner do that Dre Greenlaw doesn't do? Dre Greenlaw is a hard hitter. He's an intimidator. He's like the number one most important guy to the Niner run D, I think. He's a tone setter. He's an intimidator. He's a big time hitter. I don't understand why Greenlaw continually gets snubbed. And Ayuk, I mean, I know there's a lot of good receivers. But I mean, and then I guess what does it take to go from an alternate to a Pro Bowler? Somebody's got to miss. Is that what it is?
Well, I mean, that's the kind of the confusion is that this year there's no game. So it doesn't really make.
There is no game? I thought last year there was no game, but this year there was a game.
It's like a flag football game, I believe. So there's a little bit of confusion. I think it'd be if someone were to defer because of playoffs out of the Pro Bowl. Like, you know how there are certain Pro Bowl quarterbacks, and then like we ended up with Tyler Huntley as the quarterback somehow of the Pro Bowl because all quarterbacks deferred. I'm thinking that if people were to defer, or I'm not sure if defer is the right word, but get out of it somehow, that the alternates would then step up. So I guess that's what that means. But in this case, if Fred Warner's missing, I'm sure Drake Greenlaw's also missing.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it other than both those guys deserved it. The other thing that, I was a little surprised that, so Colton McKivitz is a Pro Bowl alternate. I mean, I'm happy for Colton, and tomorrow when I walk by his locker, I'll probably do an interview with him just to talk about it. I'm happy for him. But Oren Burks is a Pro Bowl alternate. Is that a special teamer? Is that on special teams?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I kind of put out a little bit of a hater tweet today because I saw, I think Brad Graham put out the list of the Niners that were ranked in the top 10 for their position, and the entire 49ers offensive line, which is the 22nd worst offensive line in the NFL, was in the top 10, including Colt McKivitz, who just made an alternate position, who everyone in the fan base can agree has been a very weak link on the offensive line. So,
well, is that fan voting?
Yeah, I think so. I'm
okay. So then I also saw, I don't know if you saw this, Kev, the 49ers, the number one vote getter among all the fans was Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
And the 49ers were far and away the number one vote getting team as a franchise. So what do you make of that? Is it just that 49er fans vote early, vote often? I mean, what do you make of Brock Purdy as the top vote getter in the league? Not Mahomes, not, Tyreek Hill, not Lamar, but Brock Purdy. Does that just mean that 49er fans have a lot of free time in their hands? I mean, the Niners do travel better than any other team in pro football. They pack the house on the road better than the Steelers fans, better than the Cowboys fans, better than the Packers fans. Niners fans pack the house. They turn their road games into virtual home games. Is it just the iconic status of the 49ers as a fandom, as a franchise that is making Colton McKivitz a Pro Bowl alternate, Brock Purdy the leading vote getter, Spencer Burford I think might have been even a top 10 vote getter? What do you give me your reasoning on this?
Well, I'm looking it up right now because I wasn't exactly sure how it worked, because honestly, the Pro Bowl has been pretty much irrelevant besides just the title of the award almost as like for years now. But the vote is a combination of fans, coaches, and players. So I'm not sure what the split is, but I would not be surprised at all if the Niners just absolutely demolished in the fan voting, just because, I mean, you see that every game. The 49ers have fans traveling with them everywhere they go. The Cardinals games are home games. The Ram games are home games, So I'm not shocked at all that they got a ton of votes. They're a great team. And Brock Purdy specifically getting the most votes in the NFL, it really shouldn't be a shock either. He's been dominating. He's been leading the league, and he has the most stats in his favor at the quarterback position. And I think people are just voting that way.
Chris Azorno says Brock Purdy's just a likable guy, humble to the bone.
It's true.
Baller's in the house. What's up, Baller? Long time no talk. He says Brendel wanted a Pro Bowl bad. Guy was tweeting every other day to vote. It's our fan base. We travel, we vote, we buy gear, all that. It's amazing. I mean, I'll say this. It's good to see. It's good to see. It is amazing to me, though, that Brock Purdy, who a lot of people in the media don't even think so legitimate, didn't belong on the MVP list, that he gets the most votes of any player in the entire league for the Pro Bowl.
I mean, he's a likable guy. He's playing great. I really just think it's, if you look at the offensive line, you say, oh, Trent Williams, yeah, no doubt. You see Aaron Banks, like, yeah, he's been pretty good. He's been really good. And then you see Brendel, like, okay, that I guess that makes sense. He was there last year.
Yeah, he was the Pro Bowl alternate last year.
He was there last year. That makes sense. And then you see Burford, you're like, wait, Burford? Doesn't he lead the Niners in penalties and is being benched for Feliciano? And it's like McKivitz. McKivitz leads the team in sacks allowed and pressures allowed, and has one of the and Burford has one of the lowest passer rating or passer grades on PFF in the entire league. So that's just a little bit. That's where I was a little bit confused. I'm like, okay, so this has to be just fan voting, because I don't think you could really look at the tape and say that guy is better than, 32 other guards or.
Well, I'll say this though: a lot of guys have it in their contract. They get bonuses based on this. I don't know if you've seen that at all, or if there's anybody, if you know any of the contract statuses of any of the 49er players. But how about that? I mean, could you imagine if suddenly you're Colton McKivitz and you've got Pro Bowl alternate status and you get like a $50,000 or $100,000 bonus? I mean, it's.
Yeah, no, it's great for them. I'm not saying that it should be ripped away from them. I'm just saying, I don't know.
You're just saying that the Niner fans are out there and forced.
Yeah. But I mean, really, what I wanted to highlight is that Brandon Ayuk is having a great season and is definitely one of the best.
Who are the Pro Bowl receivers?
The Pro Bowl receivers are AJ Brown, Mike Evans, CeeDee Lamb, and Puka Nacua.
Okay, CeeDee Lamb, I get it. Puka Nacua, I get it. Mike Evans?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That Mike
Brandon
Evans
Ayuk deserves it over Mike Evans.
Yeah. I think it must be touchdowns. I think that the fan vote I think that Mike Evans, I mean, actually, before I speak on that, how many touchdowns does Mike Evans have? I think he has more.
But this goes to my whole point earlier in the year when I said at the halfway point of the season when Ayuk had 2 touchdowns that it was a little disappointing. Maybe the Pro Bowl voters, I don't know, agreed with me.
Yeah, but I'm not really agreeing with you either though, because like touchdowns is just one stat. It's too hard to, or it's too easy just to be like, all right, there wouldn't be a vote if it was just based on how many touchdowns you get. But Brandon Ayuk is just, you see it. He's making great plays down the field. He leads the NFL in yards per reception. He's making huge plays all the time. I just personally think he deserves to be in the Pro Bowl.
By the way, Calba Kamiga says, congrats to Brock Purdy. Making the Pro Bowl gives him a level 3 PPE, which means his 2025 salary escalates from 1.1 million to about 4.8 million. Still a bargain. Is that true? No, that can't be true. Is that true? You think that's true?
I mean, that makes sense. If you make the Pro Bowl, you might get a little bonus or something. But I haven't looked into that.
Look at this one from D Daddy. D Daddy says, the Krug Show. Hey guys, I love the channel. Today is my wife and her boyfriend's anniversary. Can I get a shout out? That kind of makes me laugh.
Shout him out.
Well, hey, congratulations to your wife and her boyfriend. But you're not her boyfriend. We need an explanation there.
So Mike Evans has 13 touchdowns, and I believe
Ayuk's got like 7. Right?
He has 7.
Yeah.
So, but that's not right. Is that right? Is it a touchdown award?
I don't know, but that's a big disparity. That's almost double.
Yeah.
Last I checked, 13 was almost double 7. I went to Sac State. All right. Don't
smart guy.
I can go 7 times 2 with the best of them. I'll tell you that. I'll do this all night long. You want 8 times 2, 16. You want 10 times 2, that's 20. I can go all night. All right. Big Vern's in the back room shaking his head going, why am I'm actually in the back room waiting to go on with these guys that are adding 7 times 2. All right, are multiplying. Here we go. Let's go 3 supers here. Saul Goodman's in the house. He says, Larry, live stream from the sauna. Maybe I should call it that, the sports sauna. It kind of looks like a sauna.
Yeah, a little bit.
I show up with a towel, just like, hey. Hey, how you guys doing? It's all cloudy in here. I'm sweating. Man, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, man. I like to get a good steam, a good dry heat, no steam, a little sauna, and do the show. As the show goes on, I'm just like, whew, it's getting hot in here. We got
that
this
would get
one.
Uncomfortable for your guests.
I'm not sure if that's good for the equipment either. Cali Boy 58. Alternates are for opt-outs and Super Bowl players. That's right. Okay. Well, Niners won't be there because they got all those guys going to the bowl, hopefully. Matthew Waring, wild take, but I could understand Bosa being an alternate and Greenlaw being a starter. Greenlaw has changed games. Keep up the great work, fellas. I agree with Matthew. Bosa's been good, but not awesome. Not awesome.
I think he's their sack leader. I mean, he's been pretty good. He's been good.
It's been pretty good, but Greenlaw belongs in the Pro Bowl. I mean, I think I can make an argument that Greenlaw's been every bit as good as Warner.
Yeah. Well, Warner's it's a fan vote, and Warner's a household name. Greenlaw, not so much. I would give the edge to Warner just in their play.
What do you got against Greenlaw? Why?
I love Greenlaw.
Next time I talk to Greenlaw, I'm going to say, "Hey, I believe in you." Kev, not so much.
He's like, "Yeah, I saw that. What the fuck?"
Yeah, he's like, "Where's this Kevin kid? Get off, thinking I'm nothing." Tim Donaghy's cruises stingers up, Larry. Sac State. Bzz, bzz. All right, Kev, question number 2 or topic number 2 before we get to Big Mo Easy, Big Vern. People are Gammon's in the back room there. I don't know. Is Gammon friend or is Gammon foe? Sometimes I'm not really 100% sure. I've seen Gammon on some of the other streams. Gets a little edgy. Kind of comes in my kitchen a little bit. I don't know. I wonder, do we have a traitor amongst us? How much is Gammon down with us as opposed to down with Jesse, Coach, Vish, Grant, and others? We will find out. All right.
So I saw today.
Topic number 2.
I saw today a little interesting segment on Copes and Tolbert on KNBR, and I'm gonna share my screen. And it's what it is Steve Young.
Look at this. Janky says Gammon is a spy. A spy? I do. If I see him with cameras, he's just here to infiltrate the back room. All right, go ahead. I'm just joking. Well, we're having fun. We love Gammon. We're just pulling his leg. What's topic number 2, Kev?
Okay, as I was saying,
Tolbert and Copes on KNBR.
Yeah,
right?
Tolbert and Copes went on KNBR, and basically it's Steve Young talking about the rest, and he's basically not really a fan of the extra rest for Brock Purdy. So just listen to this.
Okay.
Well, from a I can speak from the quarterback spot. I don't like sitting out. It's not taking a week off. It's just I'd rather warm up, play a quarter, even a half, and be done. Like that's the way to kind of stay with it.
Mm-hmm. I
don't feel like there's any, now you're going to get the next week off, so you're not going to play for 3 weeks. 21 days. That's just from a quarterback spot. That's a hard restart. It takes a minute. I always said it takes every game you miss, it takes a half to kind of get fully back up to speed. And so, for me, I would want to go and, kind of dress up, ready to go through the routine, be under fire, don't want to embarrass yourself, go out there, all that pressure that you get used to. You think football, the biggest mistake that people can make in football, and that's why you learn as a little kid, is to go out there and just, throw your jock on the floor. Like, you get yourself punched in the face. Like you have to be ready to play emotionally to play football. And so as you get to the pro game, no one's just on just chilling. So yeah. I think, people you got to go through the routine. You got to get ready and you got to go play good football. And I think that you should look forward to it. I think that, you stay the core, you stay in the moment. This is a series of games that have set up for this to get to the spot. And in some ways the time off is great. And the time off is not great. And I think anyone who thinks it's all great, it's not all great. It's great, but it's not all great. And so you got to watch out for the parts that I just described, because you do not want to get into a divisional game against a team that has potential to throw some darts around, the Eagles or the Cowboys, and then start slow. And then we got beaten 87 by the we talked about last time, by the Anthony Carter Vikings. They just came out and just big plays, big game, and before you know it, it's over. You're like, well, wait a second. No, we're the number 1 seed, bro. What are you doing? You're supposed to just lay down. And it just doesn't happen. So there is fear. There should be a little fear in taking a couple weeks off.
What does he know about it? No, I'm just joking. That's Steve Young, and I'll listen to Steve Young anytime. But I will say this. I wonder if Steve would change his mind if he knew the way the Niners are handling it. Shanahan today said that Darnold and Purdy will get they'll share the reps this week. So they're going to go through it kind of like they're both starting. So it's not going to be like Brock sitting out all week. He will be taking reps with the first team all week. All I would say is this. I guess my only counter would be this. You got to kind of decide at the end of the day, what can you live with and what can't you live with? You know, can you live with a little bit of rust? Or what if all of a sudden he plays and rolls an ankle or gets hurt at all? What can you live with? And I can live with a little rust over he gets hurt in a game that means nothing. So I know what he's saying, though. You know, I think Steve ought to talk to Brock before that first playoff game and just say, hey, look, whatever you got to do to hit the ground running in the first quarter, do that, because it's the playoffs. You don't have time to settle in. You don't. I mean, Shanahan learned that lesson hard last year in the NFC title game against Philly when he didn't challenge one of the first plays of the game. He wanted to settle into the game. You don't get a chance sometimes to settle into the game. Sometimes your moments at the very beginning of the game. So I would just say, Shanahan was asked this question today. What can you live with more? A quarterback or a team that's a little rusty, or a team that, loses a key player by playing them in week 18. And he kind of begged out of the question, but I think it's a fair question. I could live more with the rust than with the injury. And it's a long year. And I just think that, if they weren't practicing, that'd be one thing, but I think he should be able to keep his rhythm in practice. I understand there's no perfect scenario here, but I'm happy with. If you ask me, I can have it either way. Brock either plays a quarter or Brock sits. I'll choose Brock sits. I want to make sure that Brock is there in the playoffs, and the only way to guarantee he's there in the playoffs is if he doesn't play in the playoff, and he doesn't play in week 18. If he plays in week 18 and gets hurt, there's a chance he doesn't make the playoffs. If he's not in the playoffs, the odds of the Niners winning the Super Bowl in Vegas drop dramatically. So I hear what Steve's saying, and Steve knows way more about this than I do, and I know he can draw from personal experience, but I wonder if he would change his thought if he knew that Shanahan's plan was to share the first team reps, Darnold and Purdy, this week, or if that's not what he's talking about, and he's talking about live bullets against the Rams and maintaining your sharpness via those live bullets. But okay, topic number 3 before we go to the calls.
Yeah, just a quick topic here. Obviously, the Niners are playing the Rams. Sam Darnold's playing quarterback. Then Rams announced that Carson Wentz will be playing quarterback. But the Rams are also sitting Kyron Williams, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, Tyler Higbee, Ernest Jones, and Joe Noteboom. So that's a considerable number of people players that the Rams are going to be sitting. What is your initial take on the game?
I like the Niners to win the game anyway. I think the Niners have quality depth. I think they're going to win the game either way. But now knowing, it kind of makes me wonder if the Rams are trying to duck the Lions and would rather play the Cowboys. If the Rams lose that game, don't they get the Cowboys?
I believe so. I don't.
So
yeah,
I'm starting to wonder if they'd rather have the Cowboys than the Lions, and I'd rather play the Cowboys than the Lions. But that's the Niners. The Cowboys already beat the Rams earlier this year, so I'm not sure. That's my only read on that, is that the Rams, or maybe McVay feels like the rest means an awful lot. This is a guy who is not worried about. I'll say this for McVay: he's consistent. He doesn't play his good players at all in the preseason. So if you're not going to play your good players at all in the preseason, you're basically saying, I don't care about rust. I think I've got to get my money on the field, and I want all my best players out there when it matters most. That's the way he handles the preseason. So to me, it's very consistent for him to do this in this game. But it also makes me wonder if they'd rather play Dallas than Detroit. I bet you they would.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. But it is interesting to see how, it's different situations. you asked Kyle the question about why he can't, or why he has to explain to players why they can't sit. But the Niners are in a really peculiar situation where they don't have a lot of options to, they can't rest that many players, right?
Right. I mean, this is not preseason game number 4 or number 3, where you got 90-man roster and you can say, hey, starters, go sit down. You only can pull 2 guys off your practice squad. Other than that, you got to put guys on waivers. You're not putting guys on waivers. So it's really just going to be the hurt players aren't going to play. And then you got a couple guys from the practice squad that you're going to call up. My guess is it sounds like with the injury to Tayshaun Gibson and the injury to Jair Brown, that maybe Eric Harris, who I talked to today, and maybe Taylor Hawkins, a couple of the safeties, maybe I could see them called off the practice squad this week. We'll have to see how that goes. But that would be my read on it. The Niners practice squad consists of, this is the practice squad right now: Alfredo Gutierrez, offensive lineman; Corey Luciano, offensive lineman. I would say no. Curtis Robinson, maybe yes, because if you want, I'd want to sit Greenlaw. Eric Harris, maybe yes, because of what I just described. Willie Snead, maybe yes. Jason Verrett, maybe yes. Ty Davis Price, no. Tay Martin, maybe yes, because he could play wide receiver and you could save Debo and Ayuk. Taylor Hawkins, maybe yes. T.Y. McGill, maybe yes. Alex Barrett, possibly. It's hard to say, but those would be the candidates: Curtis Robinson, Eric Harris, Willie Snead, Jason Verrett, Tay Martin, Taylor Hawkins, T.Y. McGill, Alex Barrett. I think of those guys, 2 of them can be pulled off the practice squad.
Yeah.
So,
with all that being said, the Niners are still 4.5-point favorites currently against the Rams.
Should we take some calls?
Let's do it.
It's time for Big Mo Easy.
Yo, what's up? I'm inside the house.
Look at that. Yo. Patio no more. Big Mo
Patio
Easy
no
is in
more,
the inside.
Baby. Patio no more, man. I've been
promoted
off the patio like a dog and let back in the house, man. Yeah.
Too cold on the patio tonight, Big Mo?
No, actually, you know what, man? I got a room that I'm actually setting up in my new place. So
nice.
Yeah, I got some cool shit coming, man. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah. Well, I'm already seeing some multiple Niner hats going there.
Oh yeah, man! I can't wait to get them up on the wall, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Sweet, man. So what's your thought? What do you want to get into?
Well, first off, man, I want to say Happy New Year to you guys, man. Happy New Year, Ken. Happy New Year, Larry. Happy New Year, everybody in the stream. What's going on, guys? Happy New Year
to you, Big Mo. We wish you nothing but great success and good health in 2024. I've been laughing at some of the stuff I've seen on social media about January 2nd at the gym. You know, people who work out at gyms, and you go in. Have you seen those where people are just doing all these exercises wrong, and the place is like 10 times more packed than it usually is? I used to work at a gym, and I can tell you firsthand, there's so many people that come in and sign up on January 2nd. It's like you could charge them like 3 times as much, and they would still pay.
Yeah, but they locked into that contract for a year, and they only use it for the first maybe 27 days.
Oh, if that. They show up for like 3-4 days, and then it's like, hey, maybe 3 weeks later, maybe you see them a couple more times, and then that's it. So, Big Mo, how you feeling about the Niners in the playoff run?
Man, what you mean how I'm feeling, bro? I'm a diehard Niner fan, baby. I'm feeling fantastic. You know what I'm saying? We got the number 1 seed like we achieved, but let's be real, okay? We're going to cut to the chase, though. We got no excuses now, boys. We got no excuses. This is what they wanted. This is what they wanted. This is what they talked about all season, that the number 1 seed was going to be, a priority. They achieved that goal, and now we ain't got no excuses, man. We got to go through. We got to do the work, and I think we're going to do it, man, especially because we're going to come out healthy. Now, everybody's worried about this rust thing. Okay, you know what? I'm not worried about the rust thing. I prefer the rest over the rust, honestly, and I believe that, especially because we have older vets, like I was saying the last time I was on, we need that rest. Because if you really look at it, man, every time this year we had the rest, man, we come out firing, baby. Bang, 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 Niner gang.
I want to see Dre Greenlaw rested. If you give the Niners a rested Dre Greenlaw, I don't think anybody can beat him. Greenlaw, it would be a major guy for me to rest. Even if he suits up in this game, man, I would activate another linebacker and I would take him off the field after a quarter and see if you can rest him up. If you get a healthy, rested Greenlaw and Warner, I'll take my chances.
All day. Like I said, man, these boys going to be ready to come out hitting. You know what I'm saying? And let's be honest, man, like, especially with the injuries that we acquired with the Ravens game, this is perfect for us, man. Philly choking. Bro, that's perfect for us.
How awesome was that?
You know
How awesome was Philly's gag job? And
Philly
at home against Arizona?
How about the Eagles just falling off a cliff after playing the 49ers?
Right down that cliff, baby. I love it. But
here's one thing. I was walking around with my 14-year-old today, and he's like, "Dad, who do you fear more? What teams in the NFC do you fear most?" And he's like, "I fear Dallas and the Rams." I said, as much as I don't love the Rams with their, with the weapons they have, and Dallas is explosive, I still fear Philly in Detroit more than Dallas and the Rams.
So my best friend is a Lions fan, right?
Okay.
And I had Lions money line against Dallas. Man, I would have hit for like $500, baby. I was like, come on, let's go. But I'm glad as a Niner fan that game went the way it did. My pocket, not so much, but it's all right, bro, because you know what? I put the Niners above everything, baby. Look, I got it on my chest right here. I got it on my hat right here. Let's go, man.
The Lions did get screwed. But I will say this, Dan Campbell, what are you going for a 2-point conversion 3 times? By the 3rd time, it was like, dude, kick the freaking extra point and go to overtime. What?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's like a foregone. The Lion defense had been doing a nice job. It's not like some foregone conclusion that you couldn't stop them in overtime. I thought that was hyper. It wasn't just hyper aggressive. It seemed almost recklessly aggressive.
It was like negligent at some point. Going for it from 7 yards back is just like, what? Like what?
Oh yeah, trust me. As far as Finagles, like I said, my best friend, my adopted brother, is a Lions fan. You know what I mean? And me and him were watching a game together. And when they went for the 2, they got it. It was like, oh, no flag, call it back. When they were going for it again, I was like, bro, what the fuck are they doing, man? Like, are you serious right now? Kick that field goal and push it into overtime. And then, they get the penalty, and then they go for it again. And I'm just like, bro, like, this is nonstop right here. Like, I agree with you on the reckless. I agree with you on the reckless.
I didn't like how late that call was. That was a bad look for the NFL, too. And then you see the footage of the lineman walking over to the official. It's like, what's he supposed to do? Grab the guy around the neck? I mean, it was weird. It was just, that was a really, really, really dubious call, especially with Jimmy Johnson going into, the Cowboy Ring of Honor. It seemed like a little home cooking. I felt like I was watching like high school basketball in a gym, where like one of the refs is like teaches English at one of the schools. It's like, it was weird. It was just weird. I just felt like I felt like the Lions got robbed there, but whatever.
Well, I'm gonna say this: living in Las Vegas, you already know. Talk of the town is, hey, all the games are fixed. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you see stuff like that, though, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not anything like that, man. But as a football fan, when you see stuff like that, it's like, whoa, man, what, man? You know what I mean? It's like that's the kind of stuff people are talking about that pushes those theories. You know what I mean?
No question. Tim Donaghy's crew weighs in. He says, "Crew, you have to remember the Rams might not be ducking the Lions. They may just be creating a bye week for their star players." No, it's possible. I mean, heck, if there's anybody that believes in rest over rust, it's Sean McVay. And at least, as I said, at least he's consistent, right? The same thing.
I got something for you real quick. So why would they want to avoid the Lions when McVay knows Goff? You know what I'm saying? He knows all his tendencies. He knows all of that. You know what I mean? So it kind of plays into that too, because, that defense went against them all those years. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I really buy the theory that they're really trying to duck him. You know what I mean? Because
Detroit's
like they
Detroit's.
They do know.
I know he knows golf, but Detroit's no joke.
Oh no, they
They've
know
got
joke.
Amon-Ra. He's an awesome number one receiver. They got Laporta. I think Laporta looks like he's playing as well as any tight end in pro football right now. They got 2 running backs. They got maybe the best offensive line going. They got Aiden Hutchinson up front. Aren't they getting Chauncey Gardner-Johnson back? Maybe that's why.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I just figured I might throw that out there. You know what I mean? That's what I thought that I was having. You know, maybe to. You know.
Big Mo will give you a final thought before we jump from Big Mo Easy to Big Vern.
Hey, the only final thought I got, man, is, bro, I hope everybody has a blessed and happy new year, man. We're going to start it off right. Niners going to get this Super Bowl, man. We're going to start it off extra right. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, man, pig in a pickle, baby. But, hey, Larry, real quick.
Yes.
Bro, if the Niners go to the Super Bowl, are you and Kev coming out to Vegas?
Ooh.
Because if you and Kev are coming out to Vegas, man, I'm taking y'all out. I'm taking you all out, man. We gotta go out. We're gonna have a dinner. We're gonna have some.
Okay, so it's Vegas, right? So there's no shortage of places. Just tease it, tease us a little bit. If we were coming to Vegas and we said Big Mo Easy, we're hanging with you. Where do you think we're going? Is there a particular spot you'd want to take us?
Okay, so check this out. Let me ask you something. What are you guys into? You guys like steaks? You guys like? I mean, everybody likes steaks.
Yeah, come on. I mean, we're just like everybody else. We like steaks. We like drink. We like maybe a country. What's it called with the bone and you get the steak right on the bone?
Oh yeah, the bone-in T-bone, man. The bone-in the bone-in. Yeah, the bone-in prime rib, all that, baby.
Yeah, we could go with the. Then we could go with the big steak, and then we want some, we want some drinks. We want a killer club that Kev can dance at, and you and I can hang out in the corner and just
listen. Don't worry about the killer club part, bro. We got that handle. We got steaks and we got strippers in the same building, bro. That's Vegas.
Well,
get out of here. Hey, but let me just say this:
Kev would be in trouble if there's strippers involved. Kev would be in trouble. You and we can be fine. We can be fine.
Let me just say
we're versatile. We're versatile. Our ladies understand us.
If you guys make it out here, though, please, bro, I want to get in touch with you guys, man. I would love to take you guys out, man. Have a good night's dinner, man. Have some drinks, just have a good time.
I promise you this: if the Niners go to Vegas and we decide to make the road trip, which we may. And we may go for the week and then come back and then watch the game at home. We may go to Vegas and then just for the partying and then maybe turn around. And so if we do that, Big Mo, we will definitely let you know and we will hook up.
Hey, and anybody else in this stream, bro, if you in Vegas, bro, hit up Big Mo, baby. We gonna go party it up, man. Vegas style. Pig in the pickle, baby. I love you guys.
Pig in the pickle. Big Mo Easy. All right, Big Mo, good to see you, man. Much love. Dude, how great would that be? How great would Vegas be, Kev?
I've never been to Vegas.
Never? Oh, my God. You know a man who's been to Vegas a lot. Big Vern. No, I don't know. Big Vern, have you been to Vegas?
Yeah, I actually lived in Vegas for about 6 years when I was growing up and went back and visited quite a bit. So
nice. Where are you calling from tonight?
I'm in the Anchorage airport right now, Anchorage, Alaska.
Anchorage, Alaska. Wow. Look at you. I didn't know we were big in Alaska.
We said the Niners were well traveled. Our Krug Show fans are well traveled.
Are you stopping over on your way to Greenland? I mean, where exactly are you going?
No, I work in Alaska. I work on the North Slope in the oil fields. So
wow.
I fly to Alaska every 3 weeks.
From
Texas.
What part of Texas?
I live in Corpus Christi.
Oh, okay. I've been to Corpus Christi. So gosh, man, that's an interesting lifestyle. So you're in Corpus Christi, you live in Corpus Christi, and then you work in Anchorage. And
I actually work on the North Slope of Alaska. So all the way at the very top.
So what's is it like, are we at the time of year where it's like dark 24 hours a day, or what's it like in Alaska right now?
Well, in Anchorage, it's not, but on the North Slope, it pretty much is, yeah.
So it's dark all the time?
Yeah, pretty much all the time, yeah.
Wow. So how long have you been doing the oil biz?
I've been about 9 years, coming on my 10th year now. So I've been flying back and forth every 3 weeks for 9 years. So
Wow. Well, hey man, we
Yeah.
appreciate you supporting the channel. Is you just stumble on it today, or you've been
No.
watching for a while?
I've been watching you guys since you guys first started your channel, and I've been following a lot of the 49er content creators on YouTube for the past few years, since it started blowing up. And ever since you guys created your channel, I've started watching you guys. So I've been following you for about a year and a half or so.
Respect.
Nice. Yeah, much respect. Well, what's on your mind tonight? What do you want to get off your chest?
Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about is I noticed the trend with the 49ers is whenever they either win or keep the turnover battle even, they win the game. And whenever they've had 2 or less turnovers, they've won the game. They've only won one game where they've had 2 turnovers. So if you look at it,
what game was that? That was
that was Arizona.
okay.
Last Arizona game. They've had 2 turnovers and 1. So if they keep it less than 2 turnovers, or they win the turnover battle, or keep it even, they win the game. So the only people the 49ers have to worry about.
I may throw that to Brock Purdy tomorrow, and just as a reinforcement of take care of the freaking football. You take care of the freaking football, Brock, and you got a great chance to win the ring.
That's right. That's the only way they've lost the game. They've hurt themselves. The 49ers beat the 49ers. The other teams may create the turnovers, especially against Baltimore, but if they keep the turnover battle even, they win the game.
It's a great point. Yeah. I'm glad you made it. I'm going to jot that one down. If he talks at the podium tomorrow, I'm going to throw that his way. I'm going to be like, do you realize that if you take care of the football, your odds of winning this Super Bowl go way, way up? Yeah, I like that. I like that one.
I mean, and that was my whole takeaway from the Ravens game, because I saw a bunch of people trying to galaxy brain, their way into some overarching story why the Niners lost the game to the Ravens. The Niners lost that game to the Ravens because they had 5 interceptions and they had 0 takeaways.
Right.
That was the bottom line.
Turnovers.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
And they had 100 yards in penalties.
Right.
Yeah.
Penalties and turnovers is the way they lose. That's the only way they lose. So
it really speaks to what kind of powerhouse football team they've created here.
Yeah, and I'm so proud of.
Are you a big Niner fan, Big Vern? Or are you? Because you're in Corpus Christi.
Oh yeah,
that's cowboy country. You're in Alaska.
Corpus Christi's right on the coast, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, right on the Gulf Coast. Yeah.
Oh,
well,
wow.
I originally grew up in northern Nevada, and in Nevada, I lived in Carson City, which is about 30 minutes away from California. So my dad was born in San Francisco. Both my grandpas were 49er fans. So I was born in 1984, born in the 80s. So, right there close to California, I was always a 49er fan the whole time I was growing up, and always have been, never deviated. So I've been with them.
Cool. I like that. That's how most of us get our fandom. Why do you think Kev's a Niner fan? Because I'm a Niner fan. Why am I a Niner fan? Because my late father was a Niner fan and had season tickets. Let me ask you this. If you had to spend a month in one spot, would you rather be in Corpus Christi or Anchorage?
Corpus Christi. Corpus Christi. Yeah, the winter's too long in Anchorage. In the summertime, I'd spend it in Anchorage. In the wintertime, I'd spend it in Corpus Christi.
Do you go to Anchorage in the summer too?
Yeah, I go all year long, every 3 weeks.
What's Anchorage like in, let's say, July?
Oh, it's beautiful. Alaska is some of the most beautiful country you can find in the summertime. It's so beautiful up here. Everything seems untouched.
What's the temperature in July and August up there?
Probably like 60s, 70s.
Okay, so it's reasonable.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Reasonable.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Well, that sounds awesome, man. Thanks for jumping in. You got a final thought before we jump to Gammon?
No, I just love listening to you guys. Thanks for all the content you create. I love watching your shows, Kev and Krug. I love listening to all the content creators, but you're one of my favorites ever since you started. So keep it up.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, Vern. Have a great night in Anchorage, and appreciate you supporting the channel, man. Really do.
Thanks, Big Vern.
Call in anytime.
All right, I will.
Sounds good. Big Vern in Anchorage. Interesting, huh? Corpus Christi and then Anchorage.
I like how you're like, oh, 60 degrees? That's reasonable. Like that's the best it gets. Hey.
Well, I mean, it's summertime. I mean, I'll take
Yeah.
60 degrees in the summertime. I mean, 70 would be nice. 80 would be better, but
yeah, I mean, I guess you're an SF sunset kid.
That's
so
right. I'm a sunset kid.
It's pretty chilly there in the summer.
All right. Is it time to find out if Gammon Brown is friend or foe? Gammon, how are you?
Doing good. I'm feeling pretty friendly. How are you guys feeling?
I don't know, man. I've seen some of your comments and some of the other chats, and I'm thinking either
am I missing something? What am I missing here?
Kevin,
Gammon. What other content creators do you frequent?
Like, do I talk to off stream or
who are you cheating on us with?
Oh
God.
Well, I am. I keep a bed full of married creators there, but definitely, yeah. Someone said Aponte. I would say that's one.
You know what? I don't even know Aponte. I've never. Is Aponte good? I've read his stuff on Niner Web Zone, maybe, or Niner Nation.
Niner Nation.
Niner Nation. He writes some really good stuff. I really enjoy what he writes, but I've never talked to him before.
God, I think we should set that up. I think that would be.
I think so.
Awesome.
Where's he coming from? Is he a NorCal guy or is he around the country?
Are you messing with me? Because there's no way. No, he's not NorCal at all. You already know that. I feel like you're asking me the questions you already know the answers to.
No, I swear to you, I've never seen Aponte's. Hey, Kev, have you seen Aponte's show?
Isn't he on Gold Standard?
Yes, he's on the Gold Standard network there
with Rob Stats.
Yeah.
Okay, but they don't do the show together, or do they?
Not really. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Stats is in Connecticut. I like Stats. I know Stats thinks that we're battling, but no, I like Stats. I think Stats is kind of fun. I like his vibe. I like his fire. Is Aponte fiery or is he more cash?
Oh, he's a spicy chili pepper for sure.
He's spicy. Okay.
Yeah, I mean he's gonna have that New York kind of East Coast vibe for sure.
Okay, I like that. I like that East Coast vibe.
Yeah, kind of similar to Grant's dad. His pops. So got that same kind of he gets a little messy with it, dirties it up a little bit.
You frequent with Aponte. Who else though? I've seen you in chats with that are not Aponte because I've never been on with Aponte, but I've seen you in other. But is it me, Vish, and Jesse, or Coach and me?
Yeah,
or...
and then Coach Eric Crocker. Yeah, for sure.
Croc, okay.
And then my favorite part though too is got a little bit of I kick it a little bit with Wayne Breezy. That's my man.
I got to get back with Breezy, man. Breezy and I were going Wednesdays, but then the Niners have their media on Wednesdays at 2:00, and I know he's in the East. I love Breezy. Breezy's awesome.
Absolutely. I saw that you did something with Guy, and I thought that was cool. Yeah. And I thought it was such a cool, relaxed environment where you guys kind of just sat down. It actually kind of felt like an actual podcast. I know that's kind of like weird to say, but you guys sat down and I thought he asked you some really kind of awesome questions, and then you answered it, and it just seemed so stripped of everything else. And I actually absolutely loved it. It was one of my
talking about today, earlier today.
Yeah.
Kev hooked us. Kev dialed us up. Technically, we were there in the Niner kind of on that whatever level right there on the main level of the Niners, and then the lights went out on us. Did you see the lights going out on us in the last?
Yeah, it got dark in there.
Yeah,
it got a little dark.
I call it the 49ers Ravens Super Bowl right there is what I called it.
Exactly. That's funny. And when the lights came back on, the momentum had shifted.
Absolutely.
Okay, Gammon. So when I say friend or foe, you say no, come on, friend at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm waiting earnestly for Kevin when he starts his big adventure there, and then he's off and running things. I think you've raised a fine young man. But Kevin, I came on here and I've supported you, and I've had your back.
Here we go.
I sense a big old butt. I sense a Tina's got a big old butt coming here.
You're asking him if he's friend or foe to you. He's coming at me.
Oh no. It's
if you get into his bed not being made, I'm gonna lose my S.
No, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
All right, go ahead.
But Kev, you've always supported us, the fans, right? Sometimes your dad's not the fastest on the super chats, but you are Johnny on the spot when it comes to that stuff. Without looking at your phone, not looking left or right at your dad. Okay, hands up. Thank you. How tall is your dad?
6'1" with shoes.
Okay.
6'2". My driver's license says 6'2". I'm 6'2" with shoes, 6'1" without shoes.
Okay.
All right. That's all I wanted to clarify, because it seemed like everybody was 6'2" who was covering the 49ers. But Kevin, I do appreciate your solid boat of honesty. You have no idea how far that goes with me.
It is amazing though, when I do meet people, I get you're much taller than I thought. I don't know why. Do I look 5'7" on this thing?
You know who's a lot taller than they look is David Lombardi.
Kev met Lombardi the other day, and Lombardi's like 6'6" or 6'5".
I don't know.
And he was like, well, he's a good 6'4", 6'5".
He's tall.
Right? He's a tall guy. He's a tall man.
He seems like it. But honestly, I just came on here to say I really liked what you did with Guy there.
We're gonna guess what? We're gonna be streaming every Wednesday,
8 a.m.
Really?
Yeah, every Wednesday going forward now at 8 a.m. Guy and I are going to be streaming every Wednesday morning. So look for that. That's kind of the new announcement of the day on the channel is Guy Haberman and the Krug Show. We're gonna do a co-stream, half on his, half on my channel. Or both channels, I should say, every Wednesday at 8 a.m.
I love that. I love the chat right now. Somebody's saying, I can't believe Larry is 6'2". Rob D, what'd you say? You said Larry is 5'8" at the most.
Come on. My dad was 6'3". My brother's 6'5". I'm 6'2". 5'8". Oh man, look at that.
They're talking about getting that
ain't right.
Yeah.
Someone should get a ruler.
Absolutely. But that was really it. I've had some stuff, and I've been on hitting the circuits a little bit today. I'm a little burnt out, but I saw you guys that you were on, and just wanted to give you guys your props. Kev,
thank you, man.
How soon until you have your own channel up and going?
I don't know. This channel is a lot of work. We'll see. I don't know what the future holds for me, but what I do know is that I'm definitely going to be working with my dad for a while.
Absolutely. And I think that's
Kev's the most valuable guy in the content creator biz right now. Seriously, I mean, he's a kingmaker. He could, if I wanted to sell Kev, I could sell him for a ton right now.
Valuable
going rate. Look at this. Mark Graves in the chat. Larry's 5'8" for carrying the best 49er content. Thank you, Mark. I think. Vic Ferrari 5'11" 3/4. No, 5'11". Get out of here. 6'2". There you go. Gammon, go ahead. Oh, wait a second. This one says from Ramel Ramos. Gammon just had a big shindig about content creator height on Jesse's show.
Yeah, it's true. It's the most fascinating thing. I found that a lot of people who are content creators who cover the NFL, right? They all happen. It's just amazing to be that they're all 6'2" and they all have a lush beard. Like it blows my mind. Just all of them happen to. So Jesse,
I would say is probably about my height. He maybe is an inch taller. Maybe he's 6'2" too. What did he say?
Yeah, he says he's 6'2", like you say you're 6'2", but the comments are saying you're 5'8". I know. On Twitter, they're trying to say
how tall is Grant?
How tall
Grant's? I would say Grant's about 6 foot. I would say he's about an inch shorter than me. How about Aponte? Can you give us a scouting report on Aponte?
Aponte is definitely like 6.
What's Grant's 40?
No, Grant's runs a 4.97, but his 10-yard split's ridiculous. It's like he's got like a 1.66.
It's per
10-yard split.
Yep, absolutely.
Kyle Posey, are you a fan of Kyle Posey?
I am.
Just saw him. I would say he's also about 6'1", 6'2".
Yeah, I gave him a little bit of ribbing because I know it wasn't easy for him to follow in David Fucillo's footsteps. This fan base can be a little unrelenting, but I feel like he's really stepped in and kind of did a good job.
Coach, you know what Coach is? Coach told me the other day. I said, Coach, what are your dimensions?
He's got to be at least like what, 6'3"?
Coach is
like offensive
6'4".
Coach is like 6'4", 6'5", like 285.
I mean, he was a college offensive lineman, so it makes about sense. But yeah,
Vish is 6'7".
No, the hell he's not.
No, he's not. No, I just checked.
Can you imagine?
If I were to take a guess on Vish, I'd say 5'10", 5'9".
I'll go under. Under. I've never met Vish, but I'll go under. Vish is back, by the way, from his travels, and tomorrow night the big show returns with Vish, Jesse, and I on this channel, and I'm looking forward to it. I've missed Vish. We haven't talked to Vish in about a month, I think.
Yeah, been a while. You know how things go whenever you go cold with some of the other content creators. All of a sudden, weird rumors start swirling. I haven't seen anything like too crazy, but people are wondering, why Vish hasn't been on here for a while.
He's been traveling. I think Vish has been in India, maybe.
Yeah, someone said you ran Vish away.
There was no truth to that. We did get Vish and I got a little hot one night over the Ayuk thing, and there was no reason for that. I blame myself for that.
I saw nothing wrong with that, but gosh, I wasn't expecting this fork in the road, but here we are. All right, so when we look at Brandon Ayuk, and then he got the snub for the Pro Bowl, and then you look at what Deebo Samuel has really done since week 11, week 12, with the amount of touchdowns, everything else that he's produced. What's your honest, genuine kind of feeling? Do you feel where do you kind of rate Brandon Ayuk as far as in the NFL totality, as far as being a wide receiver? Because that was a big sticking topic, right? Like, because everyone was saying because your big sticky point was you didn't feel like he had produced the amount of.
No, my point was just my point, which was I went to camp and was at training camp all summer. And if you had asked me at any point this summer, I said it all summer. Ayuk is going off. He is going off. We got to week 8 and he only had 2 touchdowns.
Right.
And he had what did he have last year, Kev? 8, 9, something like that.
Yes, 7 right now. I think it's 13. Or let me check it out.
No, I think it was lower. I think it was lower last year. I think he had 8 last year, and I just thought he would have had maybe 15 touchdowns this year. And when he got to week 8 and he only had 2, I said I'm a little disappointed in his touchdown production.
He had 8 last year.
Yeah, he had 8 last year. I thought he would have doubled it up. I would have thought for sure he was going to have 12 to 16 touchdowns. So I expected that he would have at the halfway point, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns at least. He had 2. And so that was the entirety of my point. And then it got back to, then we started working back from that into, well, what play should he have scored on? And I was like, wait a second, no. Now we're getting into something totally different. And then it was like, well, look at his receptions. And I wasn't trying to say that he was having a bad year. I was just saying that I was shocked that he only had 2 touchdowns. I mean, let's be honest. He was on pace for 4 touchdowns. And this guy in camp looked awesome. So I just thought he was going to have, I thought there was a chance. I thought there was an outside chance he would take on the Jerry Rice 23 touchdown, incredible season that Jerry had. I thought there was a chance. He was that good this summer. So that's all. And then he wound up with 2 halfway through. And then since that point, and I asked Brock about it, and all of a sudden Brock seemed like the Niners started feeding him in the red zone in the last month or so. But as far as where does he sit in the league?
Yeah.
Who's the best receiver going? I think it's Jamar Chase. Who's the second best receiver going? I'd probably say Justin Jefferson. Who's the third best receiver going? Well, based on the year he's having, I'd probably say CeeDee Lamb.
Where's Tyreek?
Yeah, I was going to say, what about Tyreek?
Oh, Tyreek. Yeah, Tyreek. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's a loaded spot.
Really
Tyreek, CeeDee, Jefferson, Chase. I mean, that's like the top tier right there. And I would say that Ayuk's in that next tier, right beneath those guys.
Sure.
But in some ways, he's better than those guys because he blocks with anger and he blocks like he just wants to bury people. And I think there's something really special about Brandon Ayuk as a blocker. So I don't know. I would say I would say he's not quite in that top tier because that top tier is super special, but I would put him in that next tier. And yet I still consider him a number one receiver. I would say almost all those guys in the top two tiers would be in what I call true number one wideouts.
Sure. I wanted to, and the thing is, what's interesting was I think, what was the comparisons that BA was kind of drawing? It was like Torrey Holt, I believe, or was it Isaac Bruce?
As far as to other receivers,
yeah, it was something like that. Like
to me, he's Isaac Bruce. Isaac Bruce is a good call. I like that one.
I felt more Hines Ward, but I don't know how.
He's bigger and rangier. I'll say this about Ayuk:
their tenacity or their viciousness, as far as like off the line. I felt.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Ayuk's is more special athlete than Hines Ward. I loved Hines Ward though, and he was a great blocker and a great player. I think Ayuk's interesting in that he's 6'1", but he plays 6'4".
Oh yeah. Yeah, and if I could, I don't want to, I always kind of do a little bit of drama, but this is one I don't feel like his drama's for free, but I do feel like this is a good, honest question that Jason Alvarez asked. He said, Gammon, why do you like the Rams? Gammon is a Rams fan. He's Ramilia's best friend, trader. So I did kind of want to go into a little bit of kind of like my background on this, right? So
are you a Rams fan?
Well, what I am is I'm a football fan first and foremost. Diehard Niners fan. When Steve Young was talking about Brock Purdy shouldn't rest, he should play, or he does. Right. I didn't say like that's putting words in his mouth, but he feels like he should just play.
He's concerned about rust.
But in this exact same system, I remember, I was pretty young, but I just remember when I think it was like Steve Young against the Cardinals, and he got laid out and he was crawling to the sideline. And I just remember tears in my eyes just watching,
talking about 99 and Aeneas
Williams.
Oh,
yeah, that was
Lawrence Phillips, missed block.
Horrible to watch your hero go down like that. And then earlier, right, you saw what happened to Joe Montana's back. I mean, this system is not very nice to a quarterback's body, which you kind of have to turn your back to. For me, my biggest thing is I try to make sure that content creators, right? So any of them, they want to go ahead and they want to have somebody to kind of do a crossover with. I kind of have those built kind of relationships or bridges built. So that way, then it kind of facilitates that need a little bit easier. But I'm really proud of some of the things I have. Jake Ellenbogen, I am the only Niners fan that happens to be a moderator on his channel. But I do it out of necessity for the fact that I want to make sure that whenever these Niners content creators, they build something or they're giving a product, asking questions, those resources that they have available, right? And some of those connections, those plugins that they need or want, to go ahead and then just give our fan base, the faithful, something great, something monumental, that they have an actuation or a piece that they can go ahead, accessible, and get those guys on their show as somebody of equal talent to where they're at, and especially for their platform. So you have leveled platforms and where they're able to kind of communicate.
Teasy says, are you a Rams fan? I'm a football fan. He says, what? And then we got Niner Bang says not denying to be a Rams fan. So are you part Niner fan, part Rams fan, or
I
are
am,
you?
If I were to spit it all out, right? So grew up in the Bay,
Okay.
younger, and then moved down to Sacramento. So I'm a San Francisco Giants fan. Whole part.
I feel sorry for you, but yes, we're all together.
Listen, it gets dark. Then I'm also too. I'm a 49ers fan, and I'm a Sacramento Kings fan. There was a year.
Okay, you're like my brother. You're basically my brother. My brother is a Kings, Niners, Giants fan.
So it'd be no to a fan of any other fan base. Yes to Kings, 49ers, Giants. And I just remember in high school, there was a year where the 49ers, the Sacramento Kings, and the San Francisco Giants all finished in the bottom 3 of their leagues. I mean, it was rough. But
2002, the Kings made the Western Conference Finals. The Giants went to the World Series.
Yeah, right? there's been some
good ones.
There's been some good ebb and flow, but it's not.
When was the last time, Gammon, you said to anybody, light the beam?
Oh gosh, all the time. I try to get on. I try to get Ryan Hensley to say it a couple times.
I don't know who that is. Peter Lee says, "Turn off the beam." Mark Graves says, "F the beam."
Oh, man.
All right, Gammon, you got a final thought before we go to Franco? Franco's a rough guy, man. Franco's been in the drug tank. Franco's, as they said, Franco's lived a little.
It's yeah, I mean, I would say the only thing that I would have to say is keep an open mind. Never close the door. I mean, I'm in the Army right now, and never did I think I would get a chance to talk to some of you guys, right? The content creators, some of you guys, big movers, so that it was absolutely fascinating to kind of be a part of your world. Yeah, I mean, nothing but I respect everything that you guys do, because whatever you guys say, right, Larry, for you, if you say something, because you caught a whole hell of a lot of heat for your Brock Purdy talk, I think, before the season started.
I really did. I said was, I know John Lynch, and based on what I heard John Lynch say at the Combine, I think he's recommitting to Brock and going to trade Trey Lance. And who knew that was going to blow up into hours and hours and hours of all kinds of debate. But all I would say is my only advantage on other people, and I don't really feel like I have any advantages really, but all I would say my advantage on any of these guys is I know John Lynch. You know what I mean? So it's like when I hear what he says, it's not just me listening to somebody. I know him. I've talked to him. I kind of know, I've had conversations with him. So it's like when I heard him say that, to me, it was clear as it gets that they were committing to Brock and moving on from Trey. And so I said it, and I had no idea that there was going to be such backlash. It fueled a lot of our channels throughout the winter, throughout the off season, there's no doubt the spring was jamming. We had amazing growth on this channel in the off season. A lot of it was due to the Niners and Trey and Brock and Lynch's statements and their, kind of the way they played things kind of coy as far as, did they want him? Did they not want him? Were they going to trade him? Were they not?
It was juicy.
It was juicy. But yeah, hopefully this offseason will be equally as juicy.
And so I'd say you say that 85% of the content creators went left, where you kind of zigged, the others zagged. So I heavily respected you for that. Again, I came on the show, and then I apologize as well. And then
why are you apologizing?
Well, so I knew that Brock Purdy would be the starter. I think that much was clear. I just didn't think that Trey Lance would not be on the team. And so for that, I came on and I kind of apologized on that. And
I got you.
Yeah. So Larry's definitely a cool dude. And then the other thing too was, you said your piece kind of about Brandon Ayuk, right? And right. I don't think that was a popular take either, because there was a lot of people kind of clipped what you said, and that he's not on the Pro Bowl. So, and that's not from you saying any disrespectful thing, right? But that was like you were saying,
he should be a Pro Bowler.
He should be, but his production, like what you were saying, 2 touchdowns at that week's end, right? Like the production wasn't there. When you look around, and you even said it's a pretty clustered map of the other receivers that are there. I definitely want Brandon Ayuk in the Pro Bowl. I think Tabor Pepper should be in the Pro Bowl. But again, it comes down to it's a pretty clustered field, especially for the wide receiver group. So I just like sometimes coming on and then giving some guys their props and their just due, especially when they've taken a horrid and torrent amount of vitriol and, lack of a better term, shit. And you
I can take it. I can take it.
Yeah, and so nothing but salute and thank you for doing what you're doing and just keeping it a buck.
Hey man, we're gonna keep rolling. We appreciate you, Gammon. Have a great night, man.
You too, Gammon. Thank you.
There you go, Gammon Brown. That was turning into the Gammon Brown extravaganza. Polk High 4 touchdowns says Gammon 15-minute call in.
Yeah, we got to get a little better on how
we got to get a little. We got to get a buzzer, a timer. I don't know if I want to upset Franco though, because Franco's a rough.
You just got to be a little bit more cognizant of the time that's passing. I think.
There you go. Is it time for Franco?
It
is that time. What's up, Franco?
Krug Dog, Kev Shiesty. How y'all doing, man?
What's up, Franco? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Had a wonderful time with the fam on New Year's.
Nice. Where'd you guys go?
Just chilling with the family at the house. My younger cousin, he makes pizza, so he's got his little pizza oven and a lot of drinking. What
was the drink of choice? Are we going red wine? Or are we going hard alcohol? Beer?
Krug, I'm under 35, so I haven't started drinking too much wine yet. That's more of a
well, you don't want the wine hangover either. And Kev Shiesty doesn't like the wine hangover either.
Yeah, no, we're not there yet with the wine. I do enjoy a little bit of glass of wine every now and then, but not on New Year's. New Year's we had to go big, right? We're talking shots. We're
tequila?
Talking no, it was vodka. I am more of a fan of tequila, but they just had some vodka, so
you like tequila. Tequila just doesn't like you.
Indeed. You got that right, sir.
Once you yak on a certain alcohol, it's hard to go back. Like, I had some bad nights with tequila in college, and even just the smell of it, it's like brings me back. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. That's me with the Jack Daniels gets me every now and then, but I still love it. I still love that Jack Daniels. Can't go wrong with some whiskey.
I know Jack Daniels so well, I call him John. There you go.
I like that. I'm starting using that one.
Start using it. Let me get some John Daniels. No, it's Jack Daniels. No, if you know him the way I know him, you call him John.
John.
There you go. So happy New Year. You're here.
Yep.
You're feeling good about the Niners as they get the bye going into the playoffs.
Yep. Same old, man. I think the Niners are going to, again, get the win right here. I think it's an easy one. You got Rams are resting all these guys for whatever reason. I guess they got to – I don't know why they're resting all those dudes, but I get resting Stafford, but all those other guys, I think you want to kind of keep them – I kind of go by that at least. You want to keep these guys in the game motion. Live games is different than practice. So I would say that you want to keep those guys in, but we'll see what the Niners do, man. I know Brock's probably not going to play. I'm kind of siding with Steve Young. I think Brock should at least do one series. Maybe.
I mean, if anyone knows, it's Steve, right? Steve played.
Right.
But everybody's different. Everybody's. I mean,
no one would ever forgive.
That's
Kyle
also
if
true.
He got hurt. Yeah.
You can get hurt on the first play of the game. It's football, man.
For sure. Look at Aaron Rodgers. It happens.
Yeah. I'm okay with them sitting out Brock. I really am. But I like what I heard today from Shanahan, which is that Brock's going to get the lion's share, or not the lion's share. He's going to get a 50-50 rep split this week. So he's not going to, he's also a driven young guy. He's really badly wants it. He's got a lot of drive. It's a long year. I respect the hell out of Steve Young. And if Steve Young says he thinks it would help, then I would probably lean with him. but I'm okay with their approach because to me, it's like if that kid goes down, the Niners' chances of winning the Super Bowl go out the door.
Yeah, I think Sammy Dimes.
They are not winning this Super Bowl with Sam Darnold. And I love Sam Darnold. Good guy. I've talked to him a couple times. Hopefully we'll talk to him tomorrow, but I just don't buy it. I just don't buy the Niners need Brock to not just play. They need him to play and play at his highest level.
Yeah.
Otherwise they have no shot.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, man. I think I do also believe though that getting some good reps for Sammy Dimes, I think it'll be a good idea too, just to kind of get him fresh because you never know what happens in the playoffs. I mean, look at what happened with Mahomes. He went down in, what was it, the divisional round, and then Chad Henne came in and let him down for a drive. So you never know, man. At least, I'm not saying he's going to get knocked out for multiple games. You never know what's going to happen. But if he does get knocked out for a quarter or two, we're going to need, Sammy Dimes to dish that thing out and, what I'm saying, do what he's got to do to win the game.
I believe Trock Talks has been calling Sam Darnold Sammy Dimes.
Yeah. That name's been going around a little bit, Sammy Dimes.
Because Danny Dimes. Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes with Daniel Jones. This sucks. If you suck, you can't have a nickname. Come on.
Yeah, we got to get a new one.
Oh no, you can have a nickname. It's even better now, actually, because he sucks.
Oh yeah. Well, what's Case Keenum's nickname? I mean, it's like come on. Who? I mean, if I said to you the best quarterback in the NFL right now, you say
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, right?
Nah, I'll probably.
No,
he has a nickname.
Right now, we're talking about right now.
Yeah, right now. If I said best quarterback in the NFL, you say who?
Okay, well, hold up. I would say Lamar Jackson, but not in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's only got one playoff win in 4 tries. I would say Mahomes. I would say Mahomes. But if we said
Mahomes in the playoffs,
worst quarterback,
worst starting quarterback,
worst
quarterback in the NFL, best starting quarterback in the NFL is Mahomes.
Let me tell you something, Tommy DeVito. Tommy, come on,
his
Tommy.
Agent?
Yeah, Tommy Cutlets. Come on, forget about it. Him and his agent are down to the trash can, man. I mean,
Kev, who's the worst quarterback in the NFL?
I don't know. It depends. Like if you're saying right now, who's starting?
Who's the worst starting quarterback in the NFL?
Maybe Aiden O'Connell, or who's the starting quarterback for the Chargers?
Herbert.
Well, they had Easton Stick.
Easton Stick.
But
he's not a starter. He's the backup.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about opening day starters?
I'm just worst starting quarterback in the NFL. If you're, worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Obviously not who's starting right now, but of the teams in the league, who's the worst? Who's got the worst starter?
I mean, maybe you could make an argument for Jimmy G, maybe Ritter, or
Desmond Ritter.
Man, Jimmy didn't make start enough games, man. Jimmy was terrible from the jump, and I saw it coming. I mean, he's
maybe Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones. I would say Mac Jones. Mike Jones? Yeah, no, definitely Mac Jones, bro. I mean,
who made a Pro Bowl?
That's an easy call. That was a Pro Bowl. I mean, come on, it was some. I don't know about that one.
Man, that seems like a long time ago that he was.
Yeah, a little too long.
Jason Alvarez says, Larry, what's your problem with Rob Stats? I have no problem with Rob Stats. I like Rob Stats. I've had him on the show, and we'll have him on the show again. I like him. I like his content. I think he's kind of funny. No issue whatsoever. Okay.
Yes. No, but I do like what you like what Gamma was saying. I like what you guys doing with what you're doing with Guy Haberman. That's a good show. And of course that's a good show, man. I think both you guys have a lot of knowledge on the sport in general, and especially the Niners.
I like Guy Haberman. He's really he's reasonable. He definitely, he's a play-by-play guy, so he kind of has a little bit different perspective than some of us, right? Sees a little different. He watches a lot of college ball. I like Haberman and Middlecoff and what they do on their podcast and their channel. So I'm fired
they got
up
a good show.
Yeah, they got a good show, and I'm fired up to have Guy on. He's a good guy to talk to. I've known him for years, and we just said, hey, why not? We figured out our schedule today, and we said, hey, how about Wednesday Wednesday morning at like 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. So we're going to go Wednesday mornings. I'm looking forward to it.
And of course, the Friday stream with the Chase Senior. That's always a good one too.
I like Chase Senior. It's like I wasn't sure what to expect about Chase Senior because he's covering the thing. He's national. He also covers the Eagles. He's kind of an Eagles fan. But you know what I like about Chase Senior? He's always prepared, man. He's always prepared. I mean, he has a lot of good information. And I thought as a out of town guy that maybe he wouldn't be as dialed in quite on the Niners as maybe some of the local guys, but he is.
Right.
He's totally dialed in, and I enjoy our conversations. And that's Fridays at 10:45 in the morning.
Yeah, no, that's a good one, man. Those are probably my two favorite. Of course, the one with Coach. Coach will crack me up every once in a while. I still can't believe
Coach on Saturdays is good.
Coach, I still can't believe he took Ryan Tannehill over Brock Purdy. Oh my goodness. I honestly sometimes Coach, look, smart dude. Sometimes I think he's just trolling. Sometimes he's gotta be trolling.
No, you know what it is? I put him on the spot that day, and he just rolled with a name. But Coach is the best.
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Me and him have gotten really close over the last 6 months. I feel like we relate, and I love Coach because he brings it, man. He's got a great attitude. He brings lots of energy, and to me, that's what this whole thing's about, man. It's not what come on. What am I right all the time? Of course not. I'm wrong all the time. Is Coach right all the time? No, of course not. It's not about being right or wrong. It's just about bringing energy and having fun. And he brings energy and he has fun. So I dig that. I really do.
It's all about entertainment. That's what the NFL is.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, nobody died. We're talking about football. I mean, and it's amazing how things change over time. Last year I had a live stream and we're debating, Ryan Purdy versus Hurts. The other day I asked Grant, hey, who's better, Purdy or Hurts? He's like, Purdy. And it's like last year at this exact same time, nobody would have said that. They would have said Hurts. But that's because this is an evolving, moving topic. You know what I mean? And every week that goes on, somebody gets better, somebody gets worse. We see more, we see less. There you go.
I want to say about Purdy, man, because you were definitely one of the early guys on Purdy, and I myself saw Purdy against the Vikings in his rookie year, that preseason. That was the game where I noticed Purdy could really do something. And but of course, you saw it in training camp. I wasn't at none of the training camp, so I didn't know. But once I seen him against the Vikings, I said, okay, hold up, this kid could do something for real. And then ever since then, even when Trey, of course, was going to start that season, everybody knew that. But once he went down and Jimmy went in and we lost that game against the Broncos, I was like, we got to get Purdy in there or something, man, because I think that kid could do something. And I was texting my dad after every game, after that Bronco game, like, we got to get Purdy in there, even just at the end of the game. We did against the Chiefs. He drove us down the field, but then he threw that sloppy pick. I said, all right, give him some time. And then once that Dolphins game hit, oh my goodness, that was unbelievable, man. So yeah, I got to give you that.
I wish you could have seen me in the press box because I said to the guys in the front row, I'm like, hey, the Niners suddenly got way better at quarterback. And and people looked up at me like, what? Our Lord and Savior, Jimmy Garoppolo, is out for the year. And you're celebrating this third string guy coming off the bench. I got some real dirty looks like, what the hell are you on? Kind of a thing. But I saw Jimmy and I saw Purdy and I knew he was better than Purdy. I knew he was better than Jimmy.
Yeah, those guys that were doing that, they don't know ball. I mean, when I seen Purdy,
it's just that they thought of Purdy backup, Jimmy starter, and then when Jimmy went down, it was like, oh, wait a second. Jimmy, you lost the starter and now the backup's better. The backup's the backup for a reason. I kept hearing it's like, no, Jimmy had happy feet. Purdy's smarter than Jimmy. Purdy sees the game better than Jimmy.
And
Purdy sees the game better than most. He's more accurate.
Yeah. He sees the game. The thing about Jimmy that used to drive me crazy, man, was you knew when he was going to throw a pick. You knew once those feet started chopping, he starts double taken, it was going to be a pick, that's when he's just like, I can't take it no more. But when I seen Brock against the Dolphins, man, he threw man, they threw a zero blitz at him. They were doing it almost the whole game once he came in. And they threw that zero blitz, and they had that linebacker coming off the edge, and then he threw that dime right over the middle to Kittle. I want to say it was on third down, too. I was like, yeah, nah, this kid is something special, man. And then he ended up scoring that touchdown, throwing it over to Juice. I was like, nah, he's really special, man. Like, that's not easy to do. I've seen the Niners pick up so many 7th-round picks at quarterback, and they never, ever panned out. But there's something different about Purdy, man. I remember all the old quarterbacks they had, man. Freaking B.J. Daniels, that was his late pick that never panned out.
B.J. Daniels. Man, that's going back. How about Troy Smith? Remember Troy Smith?
Me and my dad were just talking about Troy Smith. Oh, my God. That is so funny. Troy Smith, man.
Yeah.
He was good in college, but, oh, boy, those are some rough years being a Niner fan.
Oh, Woo. I know. That's what makes this current edition so enjoyable is that, man, we've all been through some hell. We've all been through some hell.
Oh, for sure.
Franco, we're going to jump, man, but we appreciate you. We're an hour and 30 in. Kev's got more homework coming up on the Kev, have we started school yet? When does school start again?
I have not started school yet, so I don't have homework, but I obviously have work, which is this channel.
Look at this.
There you go. Get that work done.
I'm working on it right now, actually.
Franco, be well, brother. Yes.
Last thing. Krug, we need some more Mitch Wishnowsky interviews. Those are the best.
Do you?
Those are the best.
I'll hook up with Mitch tomorrow. He's a Pro Bowler now.
Dude.
Maybe I'll go up to him and say, excuse me, can I, now that you're a Pro Bowler, are you still doing interviews? Yeah. And then maybe I'll start with that. And then he'll laugh. He's great. You know what I loved about Mitch last time I did an interview with him? He's like, I don't know anything about football. I was like, that is awesome. That is awesome. When a pro football player looks you in the eye and says, I don't know anything about football, that's just awesome.
That was gold, man.
Yeah. I'll see if I can chase him down. Mitch is a good dude. Good dude. Yeah, all right, Franco, you're a good dude as well, man. Have a great night. We appreciate you. We'll stay, Franco. Stay free. Stay free.
Oh, we will. You guys have a good night.
You too. There you go. Franco doing his thing. Big Mo Easy jumps in with this one. Larry didn't have popular takes about Lance and Purdy, but in the end, Larry was right. I don't know about that. We'll see. We're not at the end. Bomber T says Purdy was awesome in the preseason. Janky says bring Lowell onto this show. Oh, I'd love to have Lowell on.
I don't know if I think Lowell's he might be exclusive.
No, in fact I already reached out to Lowell and asked him if he would come on. He said absolutely he'll come on.
Oh, really?
So I just got to I just got to reach out to Lowell. I'd like to get Lowell on because I do love Lowell. Lowell and I used to battle a little bit too, but you know what? I really like what he has to say. I love his streams with Grant. They're really, really good, and I respect the hell out of Lowell. So that would be very cool. I'll work on that in the next week. Maybe that's what we got to do. To do a week where we do some people, some streams with people we haven't done streams with. That would be kind of cool. One other in here, Mitchell and Ness says, Larry, are you beefing with Jesse? I don't use Twitter, but been catching random comments. What's going on? And then she said, since someone said you and Jesse beefing, is that true or what? Kevin, you keep taking down the comments.
Oh yeah.
Why is that? It's kind of annoying, actually.
Because it blocks the names.
Oh,
and the sponsor stuff.
Nobody's beefing with anybody. At least if he's beefing with me, then I'll find out tomorrow night because we're streaming tomorrow night. But I'm not beefing with him. I think it's just, Damon and I got into a discussion the other day, and I know there's a little beef there between those two guys. But no, I think everybody's cool. I mean, if not, we'll find out tomorrow night. Tune in for the big show tomorrow night. But I love Jesse. Jesse's a good man. He's a good dude. He does good content. I respect the hell out of him. Let's just say this. Everybody I stream with, I like. So I would not stream with Jesse if I didn't like him. I really like him. And he's helped me a lot grow the channel. He helped Kev find this Krug show light. Jesse and I are tight. I like Jesse a lot. I think his stuff. I like what he says about the Niners. Now here's the bottom line on all this stuff. If you talk about one topic all the time, like we do, Niners, there's going to be disagreements. There's things that he has said that I don't agree with. There's things that I've said that he doesn't agree with. I may have referenced some of the things that he has said without saying his name, but it's never personal. I mean, it really isn't. I think Jesse produces great content, and I think his channel's awesome. And I would encourage everybody to absolutely support his channel, because he does a really, really good job. And I think, it's like we'll get into long debates about stuff, but you know what? At the end of the day, I love his reasoning. I think Jesse's reasoning is really, really solid. Whether he agrees or doesn't agree, that's neither here nor there. But what I like about it is how he gets to his answer, because he thinks it through, he reasons it through. Okay, one last super here from Matthew Waring. Wild take, but I could understand. Okay. I think we got this.
We read that one.
We read that one. Okay, we got that. Kev, you got a final thought before we wrap this up? We're an hour and 36 minutes into our stream. We usually go an hour. We went overtime today. You got a final thought? I know you were down in San Diego partying, going to a concert. How was the concert?
It was very fun. It was a 2-day festival at Petco Park, so that was pretty fun.
What did you eat in the at the what was it, Oscar's famous Mexican seafood place in the left field corner?
No, but I did eat at La Puerta, which is
in the gas lamp.
Yes, which is a very famous Mexican restaurant.
Dude, great spot. Was that what it's called? La Puerta?
Yeah. Which means the door in Spanish.
So when Kev was little, I mean, how old?
I don't know, but it was like I think it was the 2013 dunk contest.
It was when Levine beat Gordon, right?
Yeah, it was when Gordon. Yeah, I think it was when
Levine beat Gordon, and it's a bar. It's a bar, but it's a really good Mexican restaurant. A buddy of mine had recommended it. I brought the family down to the gas lamp. I always want to call it the French Quarter, but obviously it's not New Orleans; it's San Diego. So we're in the gas lamp, and there's got to be 100 restaurants down there. And so the girl out front was like, I'm like, hey, somebody recommended this is a great Mexican restaurant, and I've got little kids here, but we obviously don't want to go to the bar, but we do want to have dinner here. And they're like, no problem, we'll get you a table. And so we ate in this bar, basically, which was kind of dark with like orange lighting. Did it have the orange lights, or what did it look like this time?
Yeah, no, it's pretty much exactly the same. It was good, but yeah,
good food.
It was a good trip. It was a good trip.
Food.
It was a good trip, but now we're back here, and the only thing I have to tease is that tomorrow is your big show, and so just look out for that. And then we'll be putting out content in the morning. You'll be making, I think we're gonna make some content in the morning. And just a couple clips from the show. And that's it. Just follow us on the socials, links in the description. That's pretty much it.
Thanks to everybody who was on the show today. Thanks to the callers. Thanks to the people in the chat. Thanks to the sponsors, New York Style Italian Sausage, Pig and a Pickle, the title sponsor of the Krug Show, and, of course, Marin Auto Glass, marinautoglass.com, 415-883-3030. Thanks to Mojo Fantasy and Underdog Fantasy. For Kev, I'm Larry. Have a great night, everybody. Peace. We're out.
Yeah, never met a man I've been scared of. Careful.